Hello everyone, and today we are going to discuss about basic formulas and functions in Excel. Uh, Basically, we have an example of a list of students and their marks in different subjects. We are talking about the basic functions and most common functions that being used. The sum, the average, minimum, max, and the count. Let's start with the sum. The sum here, I would like to note that total of all the subjects or all the marks that John got it. So the equation or the function will be equal. I would type sum, and as you start typing the first letter, you can see all the possible formulas is available in Excel. It will appear there. So in our case, we are going to use sum. Click tab, so it will be selected and the bracket will be opened. Here I'm going to select the cell B3 to G3 and I will click enter. So 407 is the total out for John, total marks of John. I'm getting here. So the same I can apply if I want to apply, for example, let's type it here somewhere out of the box. So let's assume I want to count all the numbers here mentioned. So it's the similar way, it's matter of selection. So I click sum tab, then I will come and I will say, okay, select all these numbers. And I click enter. So the total is 6,557. This is maybe it's not really useful in our example, but maybe it's useful in different values and different data. So this is the summation. In the average, I want to know the average of John marks. So I'm going to write equal average and I click tab to be selected. I will select from B3 to G3, enter, and this is what we got is 81.4. Minimum is the minimum value. I would like to know the minimum value John got. What I can see is 75 is his minimum value in computer subject. So let's see how it is going to work. Is equal minimum, brackets will open, and I will select from P3 to G3, enter, and yes, 75 is the lower value. The same we can apply for maximum value. So equal max, I will select the same values, enter. So 88 is the highest mark. Now for the count. For the count, it will count for me how many values is available and selected in a specific selection. So I will say equal. I will write count tab. Then here it's mentioned that you need to write the values, value 1, value 2, and so on. So I'm going to select the values is from P3 to G3, enter. So as you can notice here, the total count is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though I selected the complete cells, but it doesn't count the Arabic as it is empty. So this is the basic formulas that is really useful and it is commonly used everywhere. Now, I have done this for John, and imagine that I have thousands of students. It's very difficult and it will take a lot of time to apply. So once I come to the sum applied here formula for John, I can bring the mouse to the corner where you can see the plus mark appear or the cross mark. Click on it and drop down till you reach to the last student. And here we go. We got the summation of all the students with one click. The same I can do for average, for minimum, for maximum, and for the counts even. So I can even select the first row or the first applied formulas, let's say, and we will come to the end and drop down to the last students. What we can notice in the count, here we found 5 counts, but here we found 6 because it's total 6. So you can see here, for example, for Michael, you can see 5 counts. The same for the last 3 students. The maximum numbers is appearing there, the minimum numbers is appearing there, and even the average is working. Now, let's assume I add additional value. See the summation, the average, the minimum marks, the maximum mark, and the count, how it's going to reflect. So let's type 77 and press enter. So you can notice the summation increased, the total increased, the average changed, right? And the minimum number, it is 77 now, right? As it was 81. The maximum still 92 because still the highest mark, and the count has been changed from 5 to 6. So if I remove it again, yes. So these formulas, whatever you do here in all these values, even if you remove all the values, let's assume I delete all the values, so you can see it returns zeros from each formula. Now, as you notice, average returns some error there. So especially in average, because there is a divide. When you divide on 0, you return error, nothing to divide. So how to override this one? In the formula, if you select the first one, if you type after equal if error, right, and you select tab, I will leave average value, then I will type comma, and I will say, I can make it as an empty space. So I can apply to the all the same. So here we go. If I type 77, 87, 90, I say 85, 75, and say 90. So as you can see here, 504 the summation, the average is there, the minimum is 75, the highest is 90, and the total count is 6. Now it's very useful if you can create a ready template with the student names and the values is empty here, so you will get the actual values, you will put it, and the formulas and the functions are ready to do the job for you. So you will get automatically the summation, automatically the average, the minimum value, the maximum value, and the total counts. This is for today, and thank you very much for watching.